place feels different without him. He left something behind for me. Help me look around. So much here reminds me of Tama. It's strange to be back without him. I still can't imagine what he wanted me to find. Say, what's that you're holding? Yeah, it is. Damn you, Tama. Damn you. I carved this for him years ago. I had no idea he'd kept it, let alone... All this time, I never knew. And he tells me like this, when he's long gone, leaving me with nothing but a piece of driftwood I gave him years ago. The man kept a journal of poetry. He never had a problem with words. And we knew each other for years. We were close. I trusted him with things in my past. Things I don't talk about. Did I tell him? I was a mess when we met. I'd been through the battles in Deadfire and a handful of mercenary campaigns since. I was a chewed-up piece of flotsam drifting to the living lands. Vulnerable? That's not the word for it. Tom always saw right through me. He knew what I was. A coward who failed him. I let him down. He was always there when I needed him. But when he needed me, I'm sorry. I'm gonna need some time with this. You wouldn't say that if you knew. Never mind. I haven't talked about this in a while, so... Thanks for listening. It means a lot. Especially since you seem to have your head on straight. Let's keep moving. A little fresh air will clear my head. That's Tama's badge. You found it. It really was out here all this time. Right where we left it. It sure is. It reminds me of old times. Long marches under the desert sun. Scouting runs through sandstorms so thick we had to tie our tunics over our mouths. It was sunburn on your top half and chafing on your bottom half. But, yeah, those were good days. And Tama, he'd wake us up before dawn with the most off-key singing you've ever heard and a pot of burnt merc brew. He kept us marching until we had sand in every orifice you can think of, and a few you didn't know you had. Just when it felt like we were going to collapse, he'd call it and we'd make camp. And somehow, we'd all find the energy for a few rounds of cards or songs or stories. He was the best I ever knew. Coming back here was a mistake. I don't know what we're doing here. Because I'm a glutton for punishment? Here's the truth. I led a patrol. We were ambushed. Tama came to our rescue. And he suffered a fatal wound in the process. He was the color of an eel's belly. The stubborn bastard made it all the way back to Thirdborn. We got him a sickbed, but we knew he didn't have long. Yeah. You ever had to watch someone fade away? When it's slow and agonizing. No glory, no din of battle, no distractions. Then you know. It's like sitting still while someone drags rusty nails over your skin. Sitting there, I noticed that he was missing his badge. And all the time I'd known him, I'd never seen him take it off. Then you get it. To an old trencher like him, that badge meant belonging, honor. I'm sorry, Envoy. I haven't talked about this in a while. I never thought I'd tell this story again. But there's something about the way you've led us, the clarity you've kept. Something about you that inspires confidence. Kind of like well, thanks. Just having his badge in hand means more than you know. There's just one last thing I've got to do. There's a memorial site with some cairns on the cliffs east of Thirdborn. One of those cairns is Tama's. We passed by there before. It's time I said goodbye. It's the least he deserves. Especially after... Never mind. Let's go.
We've got better things to do.
Tama's memorial. Never thought anything could contain that man, you know? That booming laugh, that bottomless appetite, boundless energy. Now he's under a pile of rocks. You're just making this more real. This is where you're supposed to distract me, lighten the mood with a wisecrack or something. Well, you didn't have to give me the truth. There's something I didn't tell you about Tama's death. Remember how I noticed he'd lost his badge? I went out. I told him I was going to go find it. He told me to stay. I said I'd be right back. No. You'd have come back. I walked away, envoy. And I kept walking. Not since returning with you. Couldn't imagine anyone would be too happy to see me after everything. Now you know why I never went back to his house in Emerald Stair. Why I never came back to Thirdborn. At least I'm in good company. The truth is, traveling with you and Marius, getting to know Giada, Yardsley, it's felt easy. Too easy. I've gotten comfortable. You're so clear-headed, so easy to follow, that I've been able to fall in line and back you up. But I'm not that guy, envoy. I'm not a joiner. I'm good for a skirmish, some war stories, a few drinks, but I'm not someone you keep around. Come on, you know my story now. I let people down. I let them down when they're counting on me most. Self-compassion. That's a bomb for outbursts and hangovers. I know what I am. I'm finally facing it. I've run from this for so long. Maybe it's what I deserve. What? No, I didn't. He died pulling my ass out of the fire, and I still let him face it alone. How can I remember him without remembering that? He'd tell me to pull my head out of the muck and look to what's ahead. I messed up, but that's no reason to keep messing up. And he'd probably do it over a cup of his awful Merc brew. I never realized I'd let my failure change the way I remembered him. One of the things I loved about Tama was how he gave us all a fresh start. No matter where we'd come from or what we'd done. I drifted to Paradise, but never thought about where I'd go from this. Tom always talked about the places he hoped to see. The islands of Deadfire, the tundras of Nasitok, the ancient cities of Old Valia. Maybe I ought to see some of those places for us both. As a traveler, not a soldier. Once we've stopped the Dream Scourge and dealt with the Steel Garrote. I've got some things to sort out, but it feels good to have something to look forward to.